Hey, what does Nelson Mandela, Cinderella, and Oprah Winfrey have in common? Well, they all altered their actions to be able to change the trajectory of their life. And in so doing, they stepped into a destiny that was really of their own creation. So today we're going to embark on a transformational journey together, one that revolves around choice, the allure of change, and that ever present fork in the road that shapes our destiny. So life is really a series of moments. And with every thought, we stand at a crossroads and we have a decision. Do we take the road that is familiar, that is comfortable, that's routine? Or do we bravely go down that road less traveled? As the great poet Robert Frost once mused, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. That's really a key for what we'll be talking about today. But let's not wander passively through. Let's wield some conscious intent today, because change is not magic. It's not something that simply happens to us. It's an art, and it's something that we can master, and it's a skill that we can hone, and it's a choice that we have to make. So join me as we explore the essence of change. Why is it so challenging? And most importantly, what are the four key steps represented by the acronym FORK, F-O-R-K, that will really empower you to change your emotional GPS and really embark onto some real transformation? So hello. You are listening to the No Brainers Empowering Possibilities show. These are dialogues of encouragement with fresh perspective, invitations to ahas, a little bit of science, and a dash of behavioral psychology, and skills and tools that you can use right now. So if leveling up is on your radar, my friend, you are at the right show. I'm your host, Roseanne Marsh. I'm the author of the teen and the parent empowerment curriculum called Level Up. And you are listening to episode number 72. Change your emotional GPS, change your story. Emotional GPS is a pre-programmed way that we choose to travel. It's a pre-programmed way that we choose to react, a pre-programmed way that we like things. It's the patterns, it's the habits, because it's been established in our neural system because of our life's experiences. And it's down in that subconscious, and it drives our behaviors, which then ultimately creates all the results in our life. Tony Robbins tells a story about an area in Florida where a tsunami hit and absolutely decimated an area. Everyone lost everything, but they rallied around and they rebuilt. 2 years later, the same thing happens. Another tsunami comes and wipes out everything. And you and I might be saying, wait a minute, why are they still staying there? Why don't they move? Well, this is their home. This is what they're familiar with. This is what they're comfortable with. This is where the memories are. And they can't think about making a change. Well, we have something very similar. We have an emotional home, or as I call it, it's an emotional GPS, because we've programmed ourselves to stay with the familiar. That's what the brain does. It keeps us where we've been, where the habits are, where our personality is, where our emotions are, traits that don't even serve us sometimes. And as we travel down the road of life, when we come to a fork in the road, we'll choose either the one that seems safest, the one that seems the most familiar, and the one that's the most predictable. And that's because our brains are wired to keep us safe and keep us comfortable. So if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we've always got. And 95% of our beliefs and thoughts are down here in the subconscious. And so today I would live my life 95% the same way as I lived it yesterday and the day before and the day before. So it truly is a no-brainer of what tomorrow's going to be like. 95% of tomorrow is going to be very similar today. So if our emotional GPS is so pre-programmed, Is there any way that we can change it? Well, yes, we can. But what would you change if you had the opportunity to change it? How do you know what needs to be changed in your life? Well, just look at your life results. Results in our life are highly influenced by our beliefs because our beliefs then affect our actions, which then becomes our destiny. But when you think about it, it all begins over here with a thought. The thought combined with emotions then becomes our beliefs, which then become neurally recorded, which then affects our actions and our personality, and then it becomes our destiny. So you could literally say that every time you have a thought, you have come to a crossroad, a fork in the road, and you have a choice, you have will, and you're going to choose the path of your dreams, the one of your goals, that uncharted area over there, or you're going to pick the story of the past, that familiarity. Our emotional GPS, it's on autopilot, and it will always take us to where we've already been. So to go someplace different, we've got to change our emotional GPS. So where are those areas that you would like it to be a little bit different? Let's say, for example, you have a pretty good life, you have comforts, etc., but you'd really like maybe more relationships. You'd like some companionship. Or maybe you have companionship and a family, lots of associations, but money and finances is really your stressor. Yeah, that's where I want to change my story, in the money. But change is the process of transitioning. Change can be fast, but is typically progressive and evolves. But it can really be the most exciting place to be. So if you're going to have 3 things to help you change, these are the 3 that I want to make sure that you have today. Are you ready? 1 is awareness. The next is great imagination. And the next is the ability to conjure up some really strong emotions. Now, if you ask me, that sounds like a 5-year-old. Can you conjure up the 5-year-old in you so that you can be aware, have great imagination, and have some crazy strong emotion? So now wait, you might be saying, okay, what do those 3 have to do with my finances or any other thing that I want to change? How am I going to change my story with those 3 things? Well, we have to change the beliefs we have that have us in the situation that we're in. And today, we're not going to really talk about deconstruction of beliefs as much as we are going to talk about construction of new beliefs. And it's those beliefs, remember, they're in the subconscious, that truly are the program by which they dictate how we act and react. If we have a lens of scarcity, how does that affect our finances? If we have a lens of rejection or not feeling loved, how does that affect our companionship? So there's so many things underneath that affect us. And we'll address that in a future show. But today we're going to talk about recalculating our emotional GPS. Because right now we have the familiarity of where we reside emotionally and mentally around all sorts of things in our life. But we can use awareness and imagination and high emotion, and we can make some pretty crazy cool things happen. Changes can happen. So let's do a little science review. We record everything that we experience in those 86 billion neurons in our body. And whenever we come up against an experience, the brain and the body do what they've done since you've been born. They go down into that information that's been recorded, into literally the data that you've recorded, and they see how they're supposed to respond. For example, when you come up against a situation, it goes down to find the information. Well, we responded this way last time, and remember that didn't work. Let's not try that, but we were really successful at that. Yeah, that's a go. So that emotional GPS is programmed to really navigate through predictable paths that are already pre-programmed in because of what we've experienced. But there's 2 things that really create those intense neural bundles. And those big bundles, neural bundles, or those neurons that have the most connections, really drive our behavior. When your brain goes down to see how should I respond, it responds to the greatest, largest neural bundle. And two things, there are many things, but two are my favorite is number one, repetition. Things that we experience with a lot of repetition, well, it keeps growing these connections in these neural bundles. But there's another huge one, and that's something with high emotion. And wow, that creates this huge neural bundle. In fact, can you imagine if you had something highly emotional and highly repetitive, then that really is a guiding beacon for you. PTSD is one of them. There could also be something incredibly exciting that's happened in your life that really your brain can refer to that so fast. But when we understand how the brain works, when we get into understanding the neurology, oh my, it opens up amazing ways that we can use skills and meet the brain where it's at. So let's make some changes. Okay, you ready? Pull out your awareness, your imagination, and some crazy cool high emotion. Because for us to change, we have to first set that target where we want to shoot for, right? What we want to do. We can't just say, well, what changes in my life? But I don't know what it is. No, you define what you want to change. And then I want you to go into a visualization of the person that has that, the person that is that. What is that person like? If you closed your eyes and went, okay, that person is like this. How does that person spend the day? What are the habits that they have? What are the habits that they don't have? What are the resources that they use? Who are their mentors? What classes are they taking? What is their schedule? Who are their friends? Who do they associate with? And whatever things that apply to the change that you want to have. Now, here's the big thing. And what does that feel like to live that way? The feel piece is really huge. Now, the person who wants companionship and relationship, what does that person do? Where do they go? Where do they network? What groups do they join? What parties do they throw? What new activities do they learn how to do? How do they feel about themselves? And what are their daily habits that they do to take care of themselves so that they can become the kind of person that they want to attract? How does it feel to live that way? Or the person with the financial stability, when they visualize what classes are they taking, what steps are they taking, what mentors do they have, what financial things have they learned, what additional things are they doing, what kind of prudence are they using with their money, and what does it feel like to be financially stable? Okay, this can't just be about visualizing, right? No. But it's a really important piece because thoughts go out into the universe, but it's the feelings, it's that frequency that we send out that really is the magnet that draws things into us. There's a science to it. Birds of a feather flock together. You know, when you're all of a sudden drawn to someone, there's like a sameness. There's a frequency. It's science and it's real. And here's the crazy, amazing thing. Oh man, do not miss this part. Don't fall asleep right now visualizing. You can visualize in just a second, but the mind does not know the difference between real and imagined. What? Yeah. Okay, you realize that you're visualizing when you go into a visualization, but the mind and the body reacts physiologically as if it's experiencing it in real time. And do you know what's happening? We're actually using neuroplasticity to form new neural connections. So when the brain wants to reference which way to go, it can find the easy path to your dream. This is crazy cool. We are teaching it familiarity with a new path. Did you catch the power of that? This is really mind-blowing stuff. And it's reprogramming your emotional GPS. And it's reprogramming your brain. Now take a deep breath. Breathe that in. Because that's a huge piece of how athletes, business moguls, successful people live their life. They had a blueprint that they visualized and they brought it down for their life, and they stepped into it and they felt what it was like to have that happening in their life before it even entered their life. How can that frequency match if you're not already there? If you're not already feeling it, it can't find you. And how will you know what it is if it did find you? You may not even recognize it. But literally, we're not stopping there, because every time you have a thought or a belief, it's like you come to a fork in the road. So we're going to use this little acronym, just like this fork here has 4 tines. We're going to use 4 steps, FORK, kind of a little acronym to help you reprogram that GPS. So the F is focus on your vision. Dare to envision the life you desire, whether it's a new career, healthier lifestyle, improved relationships. Define those dreams in vivid clarity and try to get it in color if you can. I know mine are in black and white a lot of the time, but those dreams are really going to be your guiding star to guide you forward. And when you come to a crossroads, you're going to make a decision. Here's that awareness piece. Here's your fork in the road. Is this thought or belief or this action that I'm going through right now, is it taking me to my new life? Or is it my pre-programmed path of least resistance? We get to choose, but we have to be aware. We can catch ourselves. We can course correct. There's no big deal about, oh, I'm thinking the wrong thing. No, that's what training here in life is about, being able to train, course correct, and bring thoughts and dreams around. Okay, so the F, the fork, was focused on your vision, right? The O is overcoming limiting beliefs. Overcoming limiting beliefs is really essential for our personal growth. So when we can have the awareness of what's holding us back, then we can challenge its validity. Whoa, wait, is that really true? Well, if it is true, I know now that I can change it. I can step into something different. And we have to recognize that mistakes and setbacks are all a part of this. We didn't come here to be perfect. We came here to have adventures and challenges and have some incredible learning. But those can be stepping stones for us instead of us beating ourselves up for these mistakes. Now the R, FOR, reshape habits and actions. Reshape habits and actions. We do the visualization, but it really takes reshaping our habits and our actions. We can visualize all day, but we got to do the work. We got to do the action. We got to move forward. We got to step forward when we identify those steps, and identifying habits that no longer serve us and then replacing them with positive ones aligns you more to your dream. So small, consistent actions over time create that substantial progress. A favorite of mine, oh, this is so powerful, is review at the end of the day. What didn't go well? Because I don't know about you, but I don't have a day that goes perfect. But when I can go back and identify, oh, whoa, I made that mistake there. Oh, that didn't work there. Well, I definitely would have said something different. Then I can replay that in my visualization, how I would have handled it. And I handle it visualizing and with, you got it, high emotion. What am I doing? Well, I'm recognizing I'm making some course correction, but I'm teaching my brain the way we're going to handle it in the future. Can you see how powerful this stuff is? Okay, so focus on your vision, overcome your limiting beliefs, reshape your habits and actions. And that fourth one is keep momentum alive. One of the best supports we can have for change is when we align ourselves with others that are like-minded or mentors that can really encourage us or inspire us. Change is not just a one-time thing. It's progressive. It's an ongoing evolution. And when we commit to continuously learning and improving and embrace new experiences and not be afraid of them, we are literally adding more neuroplasticity to our brain. And given our brain amazing options to be able to do amazing things. But the key is consistency, right? Is every single day. I've heard thrown out from several different authors, so I don't know who to give the credit to, but I love when they talked about there are floors in our life and there are ceilings in our life. So for example, if working out for me is an hour and a half with weights and cardio, maybe I can't do that every day, but maybe that's maybe my ceiling, but maybe my floor is I do 50 sit-ups and 25 burpees. The key here is that when we create consistency in our life, those habits change, but the momentum keeps rolling. If we miss a day, it could become 2 or 3, and then we fall off the wagon. So even a small something every single day incrementally relates to progress. So changing the emotional GPS is all about being aware of your thoughts, visualizing and feeling that new life that you're living. And when you come to those forks in the road, it's the FORK, focus on your vision, overcome your limiting beliefs, reshaping your habits and actions, and keeping that momentum alive. I don't know about you guys, but when I have a new goal or a new direction I'm going, I love to put little visual reminders everywhere. And I put Post-it notes in very different places. Refrigerator, yeah, it's in there. Pictures of me hiking in the red rocks with sayings on it, yeah, they're there. But these are not guilt trips. These are guideposts, right? To help us get to where we want to go. So utilizing the mind is so incredibly powerful. And change, it can be as hard or as easy as we want it to be. It really is about our mindset. I made a decision a while back that I wanted to carve out more time for self-care because I used to just get up and take care of animals first. So I started rearranging my schedule and decided that at 6 a.m. I'd take off for the hybrid gym that I was going to. So to make sure that I could make it there, I had read the book Atomic Habits, and I love the fact that set yourself up to succeed, right? So I put my workout clothes between the bed and the bathroom, so I have to stumble over it in the morning. So I get up and then I get those clothes on, and it was easy for me to get in the car. But what kept me going was I'd make it through it and I'd get out of the car and go, I showed up. I'm so proud of myself. And oh my gosh, that was so fun. And feel how we feel right now. I think there's only 2 days that I missed. Okay, I'm missing a little bit more. Little aggressive dance class. But I can promise you, as we step into visualizing our new life, our new goals, our new trajectory with emotion and with feeling and seeing it in our mind's eye, then every fork in the road determining whether the path we're going to take is that new road or is that leading us to the old road, and make that conscious decision, that choice now. No, I'm changing that thought. No, I'm changing that belief. No, I'm changing that action. I asked you at the beginning, what does Nelson Mandela, Cinderella, and Oprah Winfrey all have in common? Well, they went from places of adversity and abuse and discrimination to places of resilience and action and creation, because they changed their story by changing their emotional GPS. Jim Rohn said, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. So embrace the power of that emotional GPS, because it's the tool that's going to guide you to where you want to be. The world really is awaiting the brilliance of your unique journey. And as you forge ahead, remember the wisdom of the fork in the road. The choice is yours. And with every conscious choice, you change your story. And in so doing, you change the world. Hey, if you enjoy learning this sort of thing, there are a couple of other podcasts that I think you would love. Episode number 20 talks about having a do-over day. I nodded to that in this one. This one's a little more expanded. And number 57, grappling hook your future. And don't forget to subscribe and share and leave your comments down below. I want to hear how you are changing your emotional GPS. And like and share if you think there's someone that can use this message. We're all creators. And the more conscious we are, the better things that we create. Thanks for being here. Tally ho, my friend.